Hi, I'm Devin Luongo, CEO of Cradle, and I want to use this video to explain our mission statement, the social enterprise component of our business, and the reason we're so motivated to get this venture right. Our application was focused on demonstrating the viability of the business model, but our video explains why you should care. For months, in Harvard CS 109 series, the gold standard in data science education, I complained to Shivas that we're wasting hundreds of hours reinventing the wheel. To us, it's so obvious that the rigidity in the data science processing and modeling can be exploited to save hundreds of thousands of miserable hours of grunt work and hundreds of millions of dollars every year. So obvious that I spent 6 months scouring the internet for a solution and refusing to believe that the problem hadn't already been solved. In parallel, I quickly became infatuated with neural networks. AI today is only a $2 billion market, but it's set to explode to 60 billion in 2025 and 1 trillion by 2030. And those are the most conservative estimates I could find because AI performance depends on available computing power and the quality of data inputted, both of which are growing exponentially. Right now, one neural network built using all the available computer processing resources in the world would have the power of a single rat's brain. And a fraction of that is good enough for self-driving cars and chatbots that develop their own language and occasionally get turned into Nazis by the Twitter sphere. By 2030, it'll be one human brain. By 2045, it'll be all the human brains in the world put together. That's why 74% of all AI researchers think we'll get to AI superintelligence before my son can legally drink his first beer. In 20 years, AI will make the impact that the internet had on society look non-existent. We're either summoning the devil, Elon Musk, and ending mankind, Stephen Hawking, or we're telescoping the future, Nick Bostrom. It's immortality and space colonization or slavery and death. We better fucking get this right. Incredibly difficult problems need to be solved in a very short time frame. And without a centralized community and research hub designed to profit from transparency and collaboration, the decisions about the fate of humanity will be made in quiet by a few large corporations and intelligence agencies that control a majority of the world's computing power. It's inevitable unless something changes. I got my bachelor's in economics, and from an economic perspective, it's an impossible problem. Governments are supposed to offset externalities by adjusting market prices. However, how do you quantify the end of the human race accurately? AI is going to be a massive boon for the economy right up until it starts automating millions of people out of work. And at that point, we'll be a decade away from birthing superintelligence AI. If the political debate around climate change is any indication, a political solution to something that's this nuanced and requires a proactive approach is a dead end unless something major changes. Furthermore, fate of the world or not, corporations are legally obligated to service the bottom line for their investors. And that's not going to change unless at least $1 billion cloud services company is servicing mankind by servicing their bottom line. We're all going to go out resolving the Fermi paradox. The only viable solution is to ensure that the business interests of the companies that control these resources are aligned with the interest of the human race. And that's why we're doing this. Cradle's mission is to bring together the world's top AI minds and focus their attention on harnessing the power of AI to solve the biggest problems mankind faces and giving them the tools they need to be successful and to solve these problems quickly. We're talking about days, not months or years. And we need to do all of this without losing control over our world to something out of a bad science fiction movie. We want to unite the people that will one day save the world. And our pitch to our user base is simple. It's save money, save time, save the world. For us, for me, and whether you realize it now or not, for you, this is personal. It's no longer just what kind of world are we going to leave our children. It's, are we going to have the power to leave our children a future at all? I know our application is too dense, and if I was going to rank order invest my time in a venture that will make me billions of dollars, I would have chosen something else, something that nails your Rosetta Stone triad, is already a $100 billion industry, and has a value prop that I could explain in 6 seconds to my 8-year-old niece and know she'll know exactly what we do. I fully acknowledge this isn't that. It's not clean, it's a little bit messy, but I feel an almost compulsion towards this venture because I can't shake the knowledge that if we mess up the AI problem, having all the money in the world won't make a bit of difference. At the same time, it's hard to take the clear vision that I have in my head and explain it so that anyone can understand, because we're dealing with a technology that no one understands. And that's the opportunity we're trying to exploit, and it's an incredibly valuable one, and the timing is right. But it's also an albatross that I haven't figured out yet how to shed. Other than I know deep inside, on an almost instinctual level, that if we build it, they will come. We, the founding team at Brain Cradle, don't have all the answers, but the goalposts are clear, and the end game visits me in my sleep every single night. How we get there, how we get off the ground, it's still hazy, we admit that, but we're asking you to consider the stakes. We will squeeze every single drop of juice out of the VIP program. And you won't find a more motivated, more passionate founder and team. We're confident and we're driven and we're going to find a way to succeed. We have to.